Hey, what's up guys? We are here today at my bike shop, back here on the track where it all started for me. And today we're gonna do a little story time. We're actually going to be talking about X Games because X Games is right around the corner and it's one of my favorite times of year. Ever since I was a little kid, I loved everything about the X Games. I mean, just watching that and seeing every single one of my heroes out there doing their thing and riding their bikes and even skateboard. I used to love skateboarding. I loved street luge when it was on the X Games, rollerblading, every single bit of it, honestly. And it was such a huge thing for me. It was something that I could relate to as a kid. You know, I didn't like ball games at the time. I didn't like ball sports. Didn't really care for watching baseball or football or anything like that when I was a kid. I just loved everything extreme. And for me, when the X Games came on, that was my week of just watching the biggest names out there, just trying their hardest to get an X Games medal. It meant so much to me. Today we're doing these stories because I'm pretty excited about this year. I mean, you guys know about my accident. I'm not able to ride in X Games, but I actually have the chance to announce X Games, and that is huge for me. I am so proud of that. I will be doing the announcing of BMX Park, BMX Street, and BMX Dirt this year. I will be sitting there in the booth along with Jimmy Coleman, and we will be going over everybody's runs. But what's cool about that is I was able to make some amazing memories riding my bike at X Games. Some memories that were the greatest moments of my life, and I actually get to be there and be part of it for other people having great moments, and I get to share that with them in a way. And also I get to speak about BMX to everybody in the world watching it, and I'm so proud about that. Today we're gonna have some stories. We're going to go over every single medal that I won at X Games, all 9 of them to be exact, and I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story about every single one of these and the importance to all these things to me, because there's some crazy moments that went into it. So we're gonna get this started right now with my first medal in 2005. My first year at X Games was in 2003. It was my first year riding professionally. I was pretty excited about this. I had all the biggest guys there and the course was unreal. The ramps were huge. It was pretty amazing. But in that competition, I ended up crashing and breaking my nose the day before the competition. So I woke up, both of my eyes were almost swollen shut, and I did terrible. I got 19th place out of 20. 2004, I ended up breaking my leg that summer, and I didn't get into X Games. So I had to sit that one out and watch on TV, which there was no problem with. I still enjoyed it. But this was my first medal right here, and I worked really hard for this. 2005, we went to Los Angeles, and I was competing against the biggest names out there. The course was so much fun. I got there on the course and I knew straight away, like, this is my kind of course. There were some huge gaps that I did. I remember I did this big front flip up this step up. I did a crossfoot to 360 tail up over the spine. I just learned like flares that year, so I was doing really high flares. But I ended up getting second place against Dave Mira, so that was huge in itself. You know, to be on the podium with Dave Mira was amazing. So I'm really proud of this one, and I'm sure you guys can go on YouTube and find footage of me from this competition. That was a big moment. So the next medal was 2006, and you guys could see right here, this is a gold medal right here. This was also BMX Park. This was insane. This course was terrifying. I remember getting there and they had this huge rolling. It was massive, and it was only, it had to have been like 6 feet wide or 8 foot wide. It was really steep, not much run up on the top, and I was so excited about it. That was right up my alley. It went down and right into this massive hip, and on that course I felt at home. Everything just felt right, and I rode that course, and I was able to get my first gold medal, which was insane. So this one's huge for me. I shared the podium with Morgan Wade and Daniel Durs, and really proud of that one. This medal right here was all those hopes and dreams coming together, and being someone to get a gold medal at X Games. And this is classic, you know, it has the ESPN on there and everything. So this was just like the medals that I watched on TV to get. So this was huge. All right guys, the next medal we're gonna go over is in 2007. So 3 years in a row I got medals, so that was kind of cool. This was pretty impressive. I guess this is when spinners were in on cars. So it's got a little moving part in here. It was X Games 13. It was in Los Angeles as well as the other 2. And I got a silver medal. This course was pretty insane. I remember not really feeling great about this X Games up until that morning is when I finally mentally came together. I was completely off the podium that day. I didn't stand a chance in my own mind. And I came out and I actually got it together. I front flipped this 8-foot spine. I remember that. I also did a triple tail whip over the box. I never did before, like in competition. So that was a pretty crazy one. So I counted myself out in that one, and I was able to pull together and get a silver medal. And I didn't see a medal that day in my future. So this one was really big as well for me. All right, guys, the next medal right here is 2009 X Games. This was insane right here. In 2008, I had one of the worst injuries I had up to that point. I broke my foot in a few different places. It was a bad break too. I had pins sticking out of my toes, and I was in a cast for 15 weeks, and that was a huge setback. And at that point, BMX was exploding when it came to progression. There was riders landing new tricks pretty much every single week. I had to sit back and watch everybody get better as I'm sitting there not being able to do anything. So 2008, I missed the X Games. I was hurt. Now 2009, I made it back into X Games, and this was huge for me. This was one of the biggest moments in my life for BMX. I went into this complete underdog in my head, and I did not know what I was going to be able to bring to the table. I worked my butt off that week, a lot of mental preparation, and I was hoping that I could just make it into the final. And when I made it into the final, you know, I brought it together and I pushed as hard as I could. You know, I was like, that's the kind of moments that stand out for me in my career. Those kind of moments when you feel like it's back up against the wall. You're not even on your own team at that point. I doubted myself. But I remember having my family there. My parents, they believed in me, and that helped push me to get to where I was. So I shared the podium with two of my favorite riders and two of my favorite friends in BMX, Gary Young and Diogo Canina, and I ended up getting a gold medal. And that was the hardest day I worked in my life on my bike. I remember pushing so hard that I nearly passed out at the end of it, and it was such a rewarding feeling. Coming off of that podium and just realizing what just happened to me was something I'll never ever forget right here. So this one was huge. All right, so we have our first prop, guys. I had these in the 2009 X Games, and it's the first time I ever rode pink wheels, and it was the last time I'll ever ride pink wheels. But I did win X Games on pink wheels, as strange as that is to me. So we still have these. We keep these at the shop, which is pretty crazy. 2010, I made it to the semifinal, and I did not make it into the final. And to be honest with you, I was in a moment in my life where BMX, just competition just wasn't great for me mentally. And I wasn't the person to go out there and push myself the way I should have been able to push myself. So I didn't get a medal that year. But 2011, I tried as hard as I could all off season. I focused. I watched X Games videos every single day to get motivation, to get ready for this event. And I remember getting there and getting straight to work, and everybody was flying. The course was awesome. There were so many guys that could have been on the podium that day, and I squeaked in. I was able to get a bronze medal, and this one I'm really proud of. It was my first bronze medal. Just to be able to get on the podium was a huge task, and this one just motivated me that much more for the next one. All right, guys, the next medal I got in 2012. This one meant a lot in here. I worked my butt off every single day. Every single day I sacrificed any kind of outside life off of BMX to get to this medal. And going through that competition, it felt like just moments that just took forever, but it felt like walking up a ladder in a way. And mentally, I had to stay strong for this one because this was a goal I set for myself. And 2012, I got my third X Games gold medal, and this was in Los Angeles. It was the last year that BMX Park was in Los Angeles. I couldn't be any more proud of this right here. Huge thank you to my friends and family for supporting me on this one. So right here we have a signature frame of mine, and this was the bike I rode in X Games. I went with the green to match the monster on my helmet. I kept the bike that I won my last X Games gold medal on, and I'm pretty proud of this one. So we have this one hanging up in the shop, so if you guys ever see it, you guys will know. So the next medal, we are going out of the country actually. This one I had to go all the way to Barcelona, Spain to get, and I ended up actually having a rough year. I thought I broke my leg about 4 weeks before the start of the international series. So I went to the Brazil X Games being on my bike for 6 days. So I was unconditioned, I didn't ride well at all. But there was other stops for BMX Park, and I ended up getting a bronze medal, which was my second bronze medal. It was a concrete bowl and it was difficult to ride. So I was really impressed with myself that I got on the podium on this one. This is another one that I felt like I had to fight back for because of my injury leading up to it. So I'm really proud of this one. And also in 2013, we went over to Germany and I got myself another silver medal. The course was amazing. This is my favorite course that we had on the international series. It was so cool. It was indoor. You didn't have to worry about rain or wind or anything like that. And everybody was riding amazing. The course was fantastic. It was just a great vibe. And this is cool because for doing the international series, they had 3 events, and I was the only BMX Park athlete to get 2 medals out of the 3 events. And so I got another silver, which I'm extremely proud of. In 2014 in X Games, I didn't get it together. I could not get my run the way I wanted to. It was extremely hot out, and it was quite frustrating. I tried as hard as I could, but we came up short. So I worked that much harder the next following year to make sure I can get on the podium. My whole goal in this one was to be able to get on TV and dedicate this medal to my aunt. And I knew that if I got the gold medal, that would happen. I qualified first going into the finals, so things were looking fantastic. The reason why I wanted to dedicate my medal was she was really sick. She had brain cancer, and she was a huge support for me riding my bike. And a lot of you guys know my Aunt Karen from coming to my bike shop. The nicest person on the planet, literally a role model of mine. She was a person that influenced me so much because the way that she treated people, every person that she met, didn't matter if you were the richest person in the world or if you were homeless, she treated you like a friend. I admired that about my aunt. So in the finals, I tried my hardest, and my first run, I fell down and I hit my head hard enough that I woke up real quick and I had to remember where I was. I was like, I'm at X Games, and I told myself, we're not stopping, we can't stop. So I got up on top and the doctors cleared me to ride, but I couldn't remember my run. And I'm sitting there going over it in my head, like trying to figure out when I started. I almost went out of order, and I got on my bike and I was able to get a solid enough run to get on the podium and get my last X Games medal. So X Games 2015, I got bronze medal, and I'm still gonna dedicate this one to my aunt, because even though it wasn't the gold like I wanted to get for her, I worked my butt off to get this one. Even though I was knocked down, I made sure I got back up. I didn't take the easy way out. I made sure I got back on my bike and finished the competition. So this one is for my Aunt Karen. I'm sure a lot of you guys know already, but in 2016, I had a back injury at X Games. I actually landed on my butt from my brakes snapping, and I got a compression fracture in my spine. I couldn't compete. It happened the first 20 seconds of my run, and I could not ride that year. So I worked really hard to get there, and a bike malfunction ruined my year. Mentally, was a tough one for me, because like I knew you only get this competition once a year, and I knew I had to wait another year to get there and get another chance to get another medal. Currently, I'm tied for the most medals in BMX Park with none other than Dave Mira, and I don't have any problem with that at all. I'm extremely proud of that, and I'm grateful that I was able to have all these amazing memories from X Games. It's just the atmosphere of being there and just seeing the elite, the best in the world at these sports being brought there to compete is so unbelievable, the energy there. And I'm just so proud to be able to go back there this year and to be able to enjoy it and share these memories with other people. And I get to sit there and talk about everybody's run and talk about all the great things that they did in their run. Hopefully open up people's eyes that are on the couch wondering what these guys are doing on these bikes, and explaining to them how amazing these athletes are, to be able to hopefully get other kids into this sport just like they got me into it as a kid. You never know who's going to be watching the X Games and how it's going to affect them. We could have future medalists watching our broadcast right there. So all you guys, make sure you guys tune in. X Games is July 13th through 16th. And if you guys want to go look for the sports that we're doing, it's going to be BMX Park, BMX Dirt, and BMX Street. If you guys are in the Minneapolis area, come check it out. Come get tickets, come hang out with us. Me and Big Boy will be hanging around. If we're not working, we'll come and say hi to you guys and be filming videos all week again. And we're gonna make this an awesome weekend and an awesome event. So either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you guys at X Games. So until next time, guys, remember to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Peace.